booting up, I guess is they call it. And we got to get this motor running so we can run our hydraulics for setup. Here the motor is 27. I think that's the temperature of the oil. Okay, the first thing we gotta do is get all the jacks on, get our corners raised up, and level the machine. So we have to get this deck high enough off the ground so our log holders don't hit the dirt when we put them all the way down. Otherwise it interferes with the levelness starting sawing. Obviously ours is kind of sloped, so our front's going to be lower than our back. Level this first, and then we'll level the back. You don't crank those fenders down. So what we do is we level our four corners. We got to have it so our wheels are not really holding the machine. They can be touching the ground, but you don't want that bounce when you're sawing. And again, we got to get high enough so our log backers don't hit the dirt when we get them all the way down. And these are our log lifters. They're more for stabilizing the machine. With the Bobcat, we may not necessarily need them, but we got to put them in just to get them out of the way anyway. So, pretty basic stuff. So the only pins we move are the ones with the handles on. There's other pins on the machine that aren't for your basic setup. Now, you know how to do that, Jason. So you put a little bit of tension on each center one only after you got your ends done. Okay? These can be nice if you got a really big long log, where these will help it up on one end while the Bobcat can assist on the other, if that's what happens. I mean, this machine is designed, we could actually put our log lifters further apart if we wanted to. Then you look down your beam. Keep raising that one. Now this is our blade tensioning. They got a name for this gauge. I'm sure somebody will comment about that, but it tells us the tension on the blade, and I got it written here right on the machine. What the book recommends is 1200 psi, I assume. And I do take this device off because this kind of sticks out a little bit where we park it. It's a little tight in there. I don't want to have this get bent or damaged. And they typically tell you to release it to about 500 when it's in storage. And then we're going to crank it up to 12 roughly. I mean, and then once we get running it, we're going to have to check this again. You know, the blade stretch. Don't really have to be level from front to back. It has to be level from side to side, which it's better if everything is completely level, but it can be a little bit of a pain in a unlevel area to get it perfect. So we'll be checking this after we saw a log or two to make sure things didn't settle, but the ground is froze right now, otherwise we would put those.
Big one to start.
Yep, Nathan's gonna go fetch a log and we're gonna get it going. This is our set works, and what this does, if I want to saw inch boards, I can put it in here. I got there's 5 different presets, and you can put in whatever dimensions you want. So if you're sawing more than one dimension during that day, this here tells you how high the blade is off the deck. So what happens here is that set works will tell me how high the blade is. So if I want inch boards, I have to set home, which is all the way down, then go all the way up, and then set return, which it'll go back to the same spot every time. So that is designed to, if you want inch boards, so every time you make a cut and you raise it up, it will, when you press that button, it'll go back down exactly an inch lower than where it was. And it does take in consideration the kerf of the blade. This is the thickness of the blade. run this now. You see the sawdust coming out. And when that stops, then you know you're clear. Okay, so it's clear. Now we're gonna do auto up. Then you pull your lever back. And then auto down. Okay. Auto down. It comes to the next in. Now you go back in again. Gotta make sure you're clear. Otherwise you break the blade. And here it's set for 1 inch. side towards me.